What would you do if a spoiled kid from the HOA demanded your Harley? And when you refused, his mom called the cops on you? Sounds ridiculous, right? But here's the twist. She had no idea I was literally in the middle of briefing the state attorney when her little scheme blew up in her face. I've had my Harley for years. It's my pride and joy. Customized, polished, and ridden across states. That bike wasn't just a machine. It was a piece of me. So imagine my shock when Karen's son, this entitled 20-something with zero respect, marched right up to my garage one Saturday morning and said, "My mom says you need to give me that bike. I deserve it." I laughed at first, thinking it was some kind of bad joke, but the kid was serious. He claimed since I was part of the HOA, community property rules meant my Harley could be reassigned to him. Yeah, that's not how property law works. I told him politely to leave. He stomped off, muttering that I'd regret it. A couple hours later, I was downtown at the courthouse, preparing to brief the state attorney's office on a case I was consulting on. That's when my phone started buzzing, non-stop. Neighbors texting me. "Cops are outside your house." Karen called them again. Turns out, Karen had spun some wild story that I stole a motorcycle that belonged to her son. And she didn't just complain to the HOA board. She called the police to report me. Here's where Karen made her big mistake. The state attorney's office was already aware of ongoing issues with this HOA. I had been helping gather evidence about mismanagement, fake fees, and intimidation tactics. So when the cops showed up at my house, they weren't the only ones watching, so was the state attorney. The officers checked my registration, insurance, VIN number, all in my name. Perfectly legal. Meanwhile, Karen showed up in full meltdown mode, shouting about how her son deserved the Harley and how the HOA ruled the neighborhood. She didn't realize the body cams were rolling, catching every entitled word. The cops didn't arrest me. In fact, they asked Karen to step aside. Then, almost like it was scripted, my phone rang, state attorney himself calling to check on the situation. I put him on speaker and calmly explained, "We're standing here with police because Karen reported my Harley as stolen." There was a pause, then the state attorney said, "Good. Document everything. This will go straight into our case file." Karen's face went white. Suddenly, this wasn't about a motorcycle anymore. This was about her HOA's pattern of harassment. The officers, hearing the state attorney's voice, immediately took detailed notes. Her son, meanwhile, tried to puff his chest up until one of the officers asked him point blank, "Do you have any legal claim to this bike?" He stuttered, then went silent. Within days, subpoenas